friends, welcome to your Good Life Now podcast. I am Frankie Martinez, and I want to thank you for checking out this podcast. Today is an exciting day. We're starting off a new series on the podcast called Life-Changing Advice. Life-Changing Advice. What this is about, it's about one phrase or a short, maybe two phrases, just a small tidbit of advice that somebody gave somebody that really changed their life, inspired them, and encouraged them. And so I'm gonna kick it off today and share a piece of advice that somebody gave me that really stuck with me and changed my life. Next week, we're gonna hear from a different person, and week after week, we'll go through different guests to hear their life-changing advice. So it's gonna be great because you get to hear all the great nuggets of the best advice to end 2021. I think it's gonna be great and encouraging. I'm super excited about it. So without further ado, I'm gonna share with you my life-changing advice, or one of the greatest pieces of advice I've received. And it was through my friend, David Kendall. He was on this podcast. I think he was my second guest. He had a very great episode. If you haven't heard it, go back and check it out. It's an interview with David Kendall. He dropped a bomb on that episode, a real bomb. I won't tell you what it is, but it was very life-changing too. But me and Dave were talking years ago over the phone. Had to be at least 13 years ago or so. And as we were talking, he shared this piece of advice with me. And man, it stuck. It stuck then. It sticks now. I've passed this advice on to many people that I've discipled, mentored, encouraged, coached. And here it is. It's don't take success or failure personal, but war by principle. Don't take success or failure personal, but war by principle. Now, what I love about that is a few things. First of all, what I love is it says it doesn't make success the end result. Because if you're not taking success personal, then it's more than success. Success shouldn't be the end result, because then what are you going to do after you reach that goal? Success is not the end result. It's just part of the journey. And so if you take it personal, you're going to be confused and lost when you achieve that goal, or it may change you in a negative way if you take it personal, thinking you're better than everybody else. And that's not a good thing, right? The other thing I like about that saying or phrase, piece of advice, is it doesn't allow failure to debilitate you, right? If you don't take failure personal, then failure can't kick you out of the game. It can't knock you out. And so many people get knocked out through failure, get kicked out of the game, and never get back into the ring. And that's not what failure is. You're gonna find out why. Failure is intended to actually inspire you to keep going. So this is a great piece of advice I received. I love it. I'm gonna share a little bit more about why I love it so much. First off, success is not the end goal. Why? Because you realize that your definition of success can change. What you thought was a life-worthy pursuit may evolve, shift, or completely change. So we can't take that personal. And plus, like I said earlier, one of the problems with success is it can change people sometimes in a negative way if you take it personal. You don't ever want to think, well, I'm better than somebody else because I got this promotion, or I got elevated, or I succeed, I reached the top. No, don't take it personal. Still be humble, still honor people, love people, even those under you, because that's what attracts the goodness of God in your life. Another reason it's important to not take success personal is because you're not always going to succeed. And actually, I think the reality, the truth of it is you're not actually meant to always succeed. I think sometimes you're supposed to fail. I'm supposed to fail. I believe sometimes we are supposed to fail because it's in that place that people call failure. It's in that place that you may call failure that it forces you to dig deeper within. It forces you to find a solution. It forces you to say, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a solution. What can I do to make this better? How can I change this? How can I make it my odds better to succeed? And it's in that place that people call failure that you discover your sweet spot, that you discover your true purpose, you discover who you really are. And you will never get there had you not experienced what people call failure. Now, notice I keep saying what you may call failure or what people call failure. I like to say that because do you realize that success and failure are both subjective, meaning they are defined by you and only you. What you call success and when you call failure is defined by you. What you call success, somebody else could call a failure. What you call a failure, somebody else could call a success. It could be a success for them. So you see, you can't take either personal because they're subjective. It's based on different people's opinions, different circumstances, wherever they're at in life. So this advice has got me through so much because it proves that point. Man, it's not about success. It's not about failure. It's truly about the journey. It's truly about discovering who you are in the process. Failure could be the best thing in your life. It could cause you to lead, it could lead to your greatest invention, your greatest solution, your greatest idea and discovery because you hit a roadblock. A roadblock. You see, the reason I say what people call failure or what you call failure is because the word failure in and of itself means like an end. It signifies the ending. And man, there's so much more to your story. Your story isn't over yet. It's not over yet. So don't call it a failure because it's not truly a failure unless it's over. But it's not over. Your story ain't over. It's not done yet. It's going to continue. So it's not truly a failure. It's just a roadblock that you bump. It's a learning curve, and it's going to force you to dig deeper into who you are to find a creative solution that could be your biggest answer to prayer and could change your life for the better. Good stuff, right? Isn't this great? This is great. I love this advice. Don't take success or failure personal. They both could lead to they both can mess you up. Success and failure can both mess you up if you take it personal. Instead, do what? Instead, war by principle. I like how it says war by principle. War because you got to press through the emotions of I didn't make it or maybe success. I don't know, I'm better than others or whatever kind of emotions you're feeling through that. You got to press through it and don't take it personal, but war through principle. What this really means, it means motives over emotions. Motives over emotions. Warring by principle, it shines a light and it brings your why to the forefront. It really reveals why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you do? Is it for success? Is it for praise? Is it for recognition? Are you simply maybe trying to avoid failure, avoid rejection, avoid disapproval? These are not worthy reasons to live by, my friends. War by principle means I'm not doing it to get approval or disapproval. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I'm doing it because it honors God. It's the right thing to do. It's what my convictions say. It's not about success or failure. If I get recognized, cool. If I don't, it's not going to change me. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. And man, that kind of attitude, that kind of mindset, you know what it does? It creates longevity. It creates consistency. It creates a legacy that you leave for those after you because it's steadiness, it's steadfastness, it's staying power. And man, if there's anything this generation, the younger generation needs to see in you is some staying power, the power to not quit, to not give up when it gets tough. And this happens when you don't take success personal, you don't take failure personal, but you're doing it for the right reasons because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. In family, it means showing up and being fully present because it's the right thing to do. That's who you are, not for any other reason. You are setting the pace. In ministry, it means giving your all, not for position, not for approval of man, not for recognition, but it's doing it because it's the right thing to do and you're trying to honor God. That's why you serve in the church. That's why you serve in ministry and do the outreach or whatever you do ministry-wise. Do it for God, not for the people. And that is going to really help you run the race, finish the course. On the job, it's when you're overlooked, but you still work as if you're working unto the Lord. Yes, it may hurt to be overlooked, but guess what? You're not taking that personal. You're warring by principle. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And again, when you get that, what about when you do get that promotion? It's not taking that personal. And it's still warring by principle and treating those under you with dignity and respect. I love that saying where I say, a man of character treats the janitor like the CEO. It doesn't matter who you are. It's principle. This is character. And that's one of the greatest things that God is trying to develop in all of our lives is great integrity and character. You see, your gifts, the Bible says the gifts can open doors for you, right? But it's character. I heard it said it's character that keeps the door open. Your gift may open the door for you, but it's character that's going to keep the door open. Your gift may get you to a great place, but character is going to keep you there. How do you develop character? By having staying power, by being consistent, by not taking success or failure personal, but warring by principle, not being moved by the fluctuation of what society calls success or failure, but you do what you do because it's who you are. You do you and let the chips fall where they fall. Your concern is not the immediate outcome, but what? It's the quiet conviction that you did the right thing with the right motives. And man, that's amazing. And that's what we need. We need some staying power. We need some great character. So this is something that I said, Dave Kendall shared this advice with me. It stuck with me. It's one of the greatest pieces of advice I've received that's changed my life. It got me through much, and I hope it inspires and gives you a little bit of encouragement. I hope maybe it's a quote that will stick by you for many years to come. Share it with your children, your friends, I don't know. But it's a great piece of advice that'll get you through some stuff, the good and the bad, because life is not about that. Life is about the journey. It's about the beautiful discovery and all the beautiful moments in between. So I hope this piece of advice encouraged and inspired you to live your good life now. So my friends, I love you guys. And until next week, cheers to your good life. Living that good life.